Yeah, buddy. Welcome to Cool Ranch Corner, episode 56. As you can see by Chris's hair, we were playing Call of Duty last night.
Yeah.
Oh man, we have a lot to talk about that. That is the main topic of the episode. But first, this week's updates. So, Always Ready is officially in pre-production. It is official. I think I might have mentioned that last week. If I don't even remember, man. I feel like we did last week's episode pretty early, right? Because we had
Yeah.
Giancarlo. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't mention it because I went to that meeting right after.
hmm
Basically, what happened is I met with my cinematographer, and he was like, "Dude, let's shoot this. Let's do it. It this is shootable. Let's do it. Like, get it going." And I'm like, "Okay." Um, so we started started pitching it. Some producers, and I can't really speak anything else about that. But what I will say is we officially have a gaffer attached that which gaffers do the lighting.
Hmm.
Um, this guy worked on Oppenheimer, so one of the he was I don't want to say, I forgot the title, but he was like one of the 73 people that worked in the camera department on Oppenheimer, so that's pretty cool. Um, don't know how fast the updates will come in after that because we went into this meeting kind of knowing that if we do, go into pre-production, then the holidays are upon us. So that slows things down. But we're really hoping to shoot this thing, you know, in like 6 months or so. Like
Dang.
we're looking at like May is like a good start date, but we'll see if that happens. Can't rush, you know. Good things will happen when they're supposed to, but the important thing is so far all of the feedback about the script has been very positive, and the fact that it's military, makes a big difference right now when everybody seems to be making horror films. So cool stuff, man. That went extremely well. What else is going extremely well? Oil Loco. We just passed 45,000 views this morning, which means we are definitely gonna pass 50,000 views before the 30-day mark, which is great. I actually think we're in the middle of day 22, so I don't even know what number we're gonna be at by then. But keep watching it, guys. It's really cool to see it get the love that it is. And I mean, I went in hoping that we could possibly hit 100K by the end of the year, and right now that looks like we'll hit 100K before like Thanksgiving. So that's really cool to see, guys. I really appreciate you supporting the film. I'm thinking of releasing either the script or behind the scenes footage that will have some spoilers in it when we hit 100K. So we'll see. Chris, you got anything to say?
I was still on first shift, which sucked. Um, I've learned that I am definitely a night person, 100%, because getting up in the morning, not a problem. Driving to work, there's no traffic, not bad. Dude, driving home at like 3 in the afternoon sucks balls. Dude, like so much traffic. There was usually an accident like every other day, right? And it's hot. I'm definitely excited to go back to second shift, which is happening Monday, so I can start having my normal life again, which is really cool. But yeah, no, 2 weeks of first shift sucked. So that's what happened for me the last week. Is I finished up my last week of first shift.
I'm glad to hear that you're done with that because I know you didn't like that
Yeah,
schedule. Dude, it is hitting me right now how groggy I feel. So I apologize, guys. The G Fuel's gonna kick in. Don't worry.
yeah.
But the other thing I was gonna say is I just remembered. Yesterday we went to Theo's like school costume parade that they do for Halloween, and I got swarmed by a group of kids who wanted autographs. I signed my first like big group of autographs yesterday. It was
Whoa.
very humbling. Yeah, a lot of them were like, "I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an actor," and I'm like, Hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. Like the fact that my journey has inspired other kids to, chase that stuff is really cool to see, man. And somebody commented on my Instagram post about it and said, "I hope they haven't seen Pollo Loco," because this is an elementary school. But I commented because I was I thought it was really funny. The most popular costume was Ghostface, and I saw so many 6-year-olds wearing Ghostface. I was like, I would not be surprised.
Dude, I will say like this year it seems like the Halloween spirit is definitely back. Like I don't know if you've noticed that, but everyone seems a little bit more festive. Like I see a lot more decorations. I mean, dude, people were drawing like I think there was like a picture of a witch like stirring up something in a cauldron on a whiteboard at work. I was like, man, like people are like drawing stuff for Halloween. I was like, there's people just seem a little bit more into it this year, which is good. And I think it's because the past few years we haven't really had the ability to let people go out and do that stuff. But yeah, it's the vibes have been good this year. I'm very happy about that.
I don't know if it's gonna happen this year, but something I'm a little sad to admit, but to be fair, I was in the Coast Guard. I was stationed in San Francisco, where people just they didn't hang out unless it was to get drunk, basically. Because, dude, I mean, somebody would invite you to hang out, right? And they would live just a few miles away, but because of traffic, it's basically like an hour and a half. Crazy, right? Like unless you like walk or hop on. Yeah, I mean, you really couldn't take the freaking like train or whatever it was unless you were like downtown. Actually, the I forgot what it was called, the metro or whatever the hell, whatever. Um, I have never been to a legit like Halloween party like as an adult,
Oh,
and I'm married, so I'm like, we need to do that. That needs to
yeah.
be like a thing. So I don't think it's happening this year because it's already the 26th. We are going out, or we're going over to this couple's house. They worked on the vampire film. They did like the
Mm.
makeup and behind the scenes stuff. Really good people. And making friends as an adult is harder than you would think because you got to find people that have similar interests, people that vibe with you, people who don't let politics run their life and stuff like that. So, um, I think these people fit all those boxes. They don't seem to be about that stuff, and they have like 6 kids, so I know they'll have fun.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know.
On
Maybe
the
next year.
topic of making friends as an adult, I feel like a big part of it is really just like the line of work that you're in. Because if
Hmm.
depending on the kind of job that you have, you might meet a lot of people. Like my job, I've met a lot of people who I get along with really well, and it's like pretty quickly they're like, "Hey man, here's my number. Like, you know, talk to me whenever, right?"
Call me.
And because I mean, like even like one of my old mentors at work, there's times where he just like sends me a message. He goes, "Hey, have you tried the thing where you can like implement Chat GPT 4 into Python so that it like will make stuff in Blender?" And I was like, "No, I've seen videos of it, but like I haven't tried it. Why?" And he's like, "Oh, well, like I'm looking into using it, but I just want to know if you have any experience with it." I was like, "That's such a nerdy question," and of course he's asking me about it because I love that stuff, right? And it's like that's the kind of people I meet at work. And so I don't have a hard time finding people like that. But I think because you are on social media, it's like you don't want to meet random people, right?
Yeah.
So like it definitely depends on what kind of job you have because some people make friends very easily because of their workplace and stuff like that. But
Most of the friends that I make tend to be filmmakers,
yeah.
which is really cool. But I think that's because when you make friends with somebody who's also into film, not only because they work in it, but they like talking about movies and stuff. I mean, time just slips away, and like that's when you found somebody who clicks with you because you're like, shit, dude, we've been talking about movies for the last hour and a half. So um, that was the case here, but I was gonna say something and I like totally lost my train of thought.
The grogginess
My
is
brain
hitting,
is
bro.
not working right now. The lack of sleep is real. This guy's ex-military too, so that helps.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's what it was with the social media thing. I tend to talk to people, and you can tell right away just by the way they talk to you and their tone and what they talk about and ask about, whether there's somebody who's just like, oh, this guy's big on social media. I need to make friends with them. You know what I mean? And those people I like shy away from right away because it's just weird. I mean, it's like talking to somebody and like they want something, or there's they're not interested in you in a person as a person. They're interested in what you have to offer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of filmmakers I'll meet around here, and they immediately are just like, oh, this guy has how many followers? Oh, this guy could market my film or somehow get me funding. And it's like, bro, I'm trying to get my own thing funded, and that takes a lot of work. It's a lot. I think a lot of people just don't know how the business side of filmmaking works, man, and how it's just like any other job where it comes down to the experience that you have, and a lot of people don't have serious experience. No offense to filmmakers out there, but when it comes to making real feature films and stuff, they just don't tend to really care about short films unless you had something perform really well on YouTube or win a lot of awards. And I mean, that's why Pollo Loco has been pushed the way it has. That's been the goal with it. But I mean, I meet guys who have made a dozen short films, and nobody cares because it's nobody's gonna watch a dozen short films, to like see your portfolio. And not only that, I don't know if you would want somebody to watch a dozen of your short films because I guarantee you half of them are not as good as the other half. It's like short films are for learning and making mistakes. That's what I think. And I think I've made what, four? Like I wrote and acted in one. There was the student one. I'm going off about it,
Dude,
whatever. But
the entire time that you're holding that Jesus shaker, I could hear like the little like whistle from you talking into like
what?
Yeah.
Funny, dude.
I was like, drink it already. Jesus
I don't know why
Christ.
I didn't know why you were smiling. I was like, am I saying something stupid? I mean that too, but yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, it's time to move on. Like
Yeah.
short films are great and everything like that, but I think people spend too much time and resources making short films, um, because of two reasons. One, they're waiting for permission to make a feature film. Like somebody's just gonna go, hey, here you go, make, like, it's time, brother. Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna tell you when it's time. And the other thing is, I think people are afraid to make that leap.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid. That's the thing. Like I would, if somebody was like, hey, we're greenlit, let's do it. You got the money, hire the people. Like, I would say give us at least 2 months, because like you got to prep and get everything ready and all the locations and stuff. We have Coast Guard uniforms to get that I know will take at least like a month, to, like order and get and stuff like that. So it's not gonna happen overnight or anything like that. But I mean, if somebody asked me to prep a short film like Pollo Loco right now, I think I could do that in like 3 weeks. I don't know.
Dang.
I think my experience has definitely, like, I know, like, I mean, Stolen G Fuel.
Dude,
Once it was like once it was good to go and it was a done deal. I mean, 2 weeks, and it was like, dude, I'm ready to shoot this thing already. You know what I mean? Like it came down to the weather at that point that was delaying us.
I love Stolen G Fuel so much. That is such a
Yeah, go watch Stolen G Fuel.
that is so funny, man. Why do you only shoot me? Okay, I think it's time we talk about
Yeah,
Black Ops
I think I
6.
rambled enough.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, like the hype levels have never been like this. What's the word? Like pervasive. Like it's just everywhere, man. Like the marketing has
Marketing's great. Yeah.
it's I mean it's like Black Ops 2 level marketing, bro. Like it's
Mhm.
crazy. And then I like the fact that people were like, I saw so many people doing that New Zealand method, and it was because they just could not wait. to play this game. And I totally like I got home on Thursday and I was like, well, like it's 3 p.m. I kind of have nothing to do, so I'm gonna at least try it. Didn't work for me, unfortunately. But I was like, no, like I haven't wanted to play anything but this game for the past like week. Like I ended up buying Prey because I was like, well, it's
I
$10.
saw you playing that. I was
Yeah,
like, he's playing Prey.
yeah, because I was
I
like,
was desperate.
because I was playing like Doom a little bit, and then I was like, yeah, this is fun, but there's like way too much in this game for me to just like start playing it, and then in like 3 days I play Black Ops 6. Like, I ended up just playing a game that I was like, okay, I can pick this up and put it down whenever, right? So now that the game's out, I'm like, I honestly, so we went to bed. What was it like almost 1 in the morning for you?
I think so.
For me, it was almost midnight. I
So,
could have kept playing, and I woke up at 4 in the morning
100%.
yesterday. So like I
100%.
oh man, I'm really enjoying it.
I told Bobby, I was like, the level you got to get to before you prestige is 55. Guess what level I'm at? She's like, I don't even want to know.
I think you're like what, 28, something like that.
I couldn't remember. My brain is so foggy. I was like, I think I'm like 26 or 28.
I
Yeah.
think you're 28. I'm
Um,
27, I think.
um. So I've been working on a long form video that has a sponsored like ad read in it, which is new for me. Um, but it's on how to become an actor in 2024, and it was one of those things I've been working on where and I think it's gonna be a great video for people who really do.
Oh.
Um,
Speaking of Bobby,
I don't know why she did that. But god damn it, lost my train of thought. Oh, I've been working on that video, and long form videos they take a lot of time,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Like this video is like 10 minutes long, and I would say if you're really like serious about it, a 10-minute video is probably close to like 10 hours of work.
yeah.
And so I've been working on that, knowing, hey, Call of Duty's about to drop. I was finishing up the hard part of it last night. I just need to add music and then like make a thumbnail and then like submit it, to make sure the ad's good and stuff like that. But um, it's just been like one of those things tapping on my shoulder, like, hey, game's out. Time
Yeah.
to play the game.
Well, I played a
Oh.
few missions of the campaign. I won't
Haven't touched it yet.
I won't
But
say how I feel about it yet because it might get a little spoilery, and I also want like your
yeah, no
own
spoilers.
unfiltered opinion.
I thought about streaming the campaign, and I don't think I am. I want to just enjoy
Yeah,
it.
I don't think it's a very streamable campaign. It's very fast paced. Some of the stuff that you have to do in
Brother,
the game.
I've done things made streamed things that it shouldn't have worked.
Dude, I tried to stream Deathloop when it came out, and I was like, oh, this is not happening. I was like, this
I have
is
like an eyelash, dude, and it keeps poking my eye.
okay. It's Deathloop was not a very streamable game. Um, and like there's certain games where
Yeah.
it's like it's very easy to stream it, like freaking Minecraft. Like you just, it's so easy to stream the game. It's very mindless. Zombies is great for streaming because you can just run around in a circle and talk, right? Like that one's very easy.
I'm thinking of doing what you said, where you're just going through the first playthrough on veteran.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I always do. I go through veteran or go to the first playthrough on veteran because then the next time if you want to play it a different way, you can play on whatever difficulty you want. You can put it on the easiest difficulty and actually like just enjoy the little things about the level, you know? Um so yeah, I mean I will say the campaign definitely like they were going for like action movie vibes. That's the way that I'll put it. Like, it definitely seems like they're leaning into that move like an action hero, like tagline they've been using. So, um, definitely a lot more fast paced this campaign. So if that's what you're into, go play it. Um, The multiplayer, we played it last night for what was it, like 6 matches. I don't know if it's the skill based matchmaking or what, but there were some matches that just sucked. But when you get a good match, it feels great.
I never felt like I was playing a match where like it was the players were that much better than me. It was just these players obviously are playing domination to get kills and not to play the objective, and they're just shitty players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just do weird stuff to annoy you, like constantly flanking you. But that game that we were like that I was pissed off about last night where that was happening, we won because
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Screw these guys. Let's get B. Let's lock it down. I know what they do now. Once I figured out that they kept trying to flank us, I would wait for them.
Yeah.
These bros would be they would come running in like a cracked out meth head, and I just shoot them.
Yeah, and
Um,
the guns feel great. The
Guns
guns
feel
feel
great.
insanely good. Dude, I was when I was playing campaign, I pulled out an XM4 and I was just listening to how it sounded when you shot, and you can hear the metal hitting the other part of the gun, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, like that actually sounds legit. Like it was like ting, 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 ting. I was like, okay, like they
Are
really
you, are you using the universal sound profile thing?
no.
I'm using that one. There was that controversy where you could pay $20 and
Yeah.
for like 5 years. I'm not doing that, but I switched to the universal thing, and I definitely feel like I can when somebody's like just full on doop, 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 I can tell where it is now, which is
Oh
nice.
wow.
Like I could pinpoint where somebody's coming from now. Like I know when an enemy's trying to flank me or they're above me, they're trying to, get the scoop on me or whatever, and I have a freaking kill streak or something. So um, yeah, I definitely would recommend using that free universal one. Don't pay the $20.
Yeah.
Don't let them think they can do that. That is one of the biggest like greedy cash grabs I've seen in a long time,
The
man.
thing is, I don't understand. So is it like Activision was like, let's do this thing.
It's
We're
some
gonna
kind
make
of deal.
or because it's a third party that's doing it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I honestly, I okay. Maybe this is a hot take. I really don't care. Like, I, if it was more of a thing of like, oh, it's for immersion, it's fine.
it is.
But
It's like a 3D. It's supposed to make the audio more like three-dimensional.
yeah, but people are saying it was gonna be like a pay to win thing, and I was like, dude, are you serious?
Well, they're saying that if you pay the $20, you scan it scans the shape of your head with your phone, and then it scans like your ear shape, and that information is supposed to help them personalize how it works for you. Until I see a video come out where somebody's like, yeah, I tested it and it actually made it better for me, I'm not even going to consider it. But I don't, even if it does work, I just don't think you should support something like that.
dude,
You know,
you know,
$20.
you know what? Someone should get like a watermelon and just like punch the crap out of it, put a dent in it, and then send that as the scan.
I don't think that would work.
I bet you it would, dude.
But back to our first impressions on Black Ops 6. I will say this, without having touched the campaign yet, I think this is and every year during the honeymoon phase, people will say stuff like this, but I genuinely feel confident saying this. I think it is my favorite Call of Duty, at least since Modern Warfare 2019, but I think I can confidently say it's my favorite one since like Black Ops 2, man. Black Ops 2. Like we played zombies last night, and to be fair, Chris had already played the map, so like he knew the layout and stuff already. But you know how I am about zombies. I never really take it seriously. This was the right amount of fun and challenging, like as far as the difficulty of the zombies and how much it takes to kill them, that it throughout the whole 26 rounds, because we did 26 rounds, and they were like, yo, you want to go play multiplayer? Let's exfil. So first match, I did not go down once,
Yeah, I went
which
down
is saying a
twice.
lot. That's saying a lot because usually Chris is reviving me left and right because I just care less. I I did not go down. Round 26, exfilled successfully. But not only that, you remember the conversation we were having towards the end of that 26 rounds? I was like, oh, I could honestly keep going, Chris. Are you sure? Like, I could keep playing this, like I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, let's go play multiplayer. Plus the Trump episode of Joe Rogan dropped while we were playing,
Dude.
so we wanted to check that out because everybody
Yeah.
was talking about it. Which we'll talk about that later because the numbers are insane, dude.
Actually, I haven't
Insane.
checked to see where it's at now.
We'll
I'm
talk about it.
curious.
We'll talk about it later. But dude, I really liked the Terminus map. I'm excited to try. Or sorry,
Or Liberty Falls.
Liberty
is what we
Falls.
tried.
Yeah, Liberty Falls is great. I really like how the perks work. I like how the gobblegums work. The map is set up perfectly to train zombies. Like
Yeah.
it's great. I'm excited to try Terminus now, but then we go play multiplayer, and I'm pretty much having just as much fun.
Yeah.
Except I feel like I'm really more focused on like unlocks and like my guns and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
No,
I said, haven't played the campaign yet, but from what I'm hearing, the campaign's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think like this the way that movement system works, it really has incentivized me to like dive. Like I actually
Yeah.
dive in the game because in Black Ops 2 and stuff like that, like when you did have just straight up diving, no sliding, it was like people would only dive because it looked kind of funny. That was like the only reason people would do that. That and PhD Flopper, which was only in like 2 maps. It was Mob of the Dead, Grief Mode, and Origins, right? And technically buried, but it wasn't a real perk. We'll get into that later, I guess. Like, because PhD Flopper is in Black Ops 6, and it's a ton of fun. But
Yeah, it is.
like, if I see a grenade on the ground, I dive away from it, like instinctually. Like I know to do that
Every
now.
time I've picked one up to try and throw it, it blows my ass up. I'm not doing that anymore. I know there's probably a perk that resets the fuse, but
Yeah, I
um,
think so.
I think the G Fuel's finally kicking in because
Yeah.
the brain fog's going away. But apologies for that slow start, guys. Next time I'm gonna chug G Fuel before I hit play or record. I mean, um,
I hit record. What are you talking about?
I think if you're somebody listening to this and you're on the fence about it, I would definitely lean towards get it. Like, we're
You can do Game
48
Pass.
hours into it. Yeah, if you have Game Pass, it's free, man.
Yeah,
I think you have to have Game Pass Ultimate, but I mean,
yeah.
if
Still-
you're a family and you got kids, I don't see why you don't have that. There's a lot of value to that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I'm really happy with it. It feels polished. There hasn't been any bugs really that I've noticed. Servers have been good. Chris mentioned the skill-based matchmaking. I haven't had an instance where I'm like, I'm getting off. This is pissing me off. Hasn't
Yes.
happened yet.
That's true. That's actually
Cold
fair.
War, I think that was my least favorite multiplayer experience when it came to the skill-based matchmaking. You would literally play like 1 or 2 games and have some fun, and then it would be 3 or 4 matches of you just getting pee smashed.
Yeah.
Like it just was not an enjoyable experience. And I mean, I will say this: the skill-based matchmaking seems to be a lot stronger if you're solo queuing. So I definitely recommend not solo queuing. It seems like it's more balanced if you're not. We're gonna be playing with the patrons, which is a great segue into our ad read. But we're gonna be playing with the patrons after this, and I think having a full party of 6, we're gonna be like kicking people's butts, man. Because that skill-based matchmaking, it seems like it has a harder time putting you up against players that are better than you when you have a group of people with mixed skill. So, no offense to some of the people on the Patreon, but not all of us are Shroud. So I'm not Shroud. So I think we'll be all right when it comes to that. But we'll see. I mean, it's obviously going to change as time goes. They tweak stuff. Honestly, right now, I feel like the spawns are much better, at least on the maps
Yeah.
from the beta. I feel like depending on the gun that I'm using, I'm either running around like a madman, or I'm holding a point and just like holding down a specific. We play a lot of domination. Domination is easily my favorite like game mode, and so I like to pick either one of the flags where they're spawning on, depending on the map, or a good spot since they're 3 lane maps where I just know people are gonna keep running through there. Like it's funny because of this omni movement system, so many people are just like they spawn and they're instantly like sprinting into the chaos. So if you just stand there, you just rack up kills by
Yeah.
being patient and being smart about when you reload is key though,
Yeah.
because that's the thing. Somebody will like spawn, run into you, and if you reload, another person's gonna come running into you, cracked out, and catch you mid reload. So you really got to be smart about when you reload. And that was one of the hardest things to unlearn from other Call of Duties, because I would always kill somebody, reload, kill somebody, reload. Now I kill 2 or 3 people and then I reload. But I am using like extended mag 2 right now, my XM4, which I am almost done unlocking military camos for. So
Dang, already, dude?
yeah, I think I'm like 2 camos away from, what is it, gold? Or no, 2 camos away from the special camos.
Dude, I haven't even. Oh, I think I've only gotten one military camo, and it was on the MP5.
I'm using this barrel that has a headshot multiplier. I
Oh,
feel like I'm getting more
What-
headshots. That's the way to go.
what level is your M4?
27, 28, something like that.
You're
And I think there's like what 30 something levels.
already, dude? Jesus Christ, man! I
I've
have.
only been using the XM4 basically in
Oh,
multiplayer.
yeah. See, because I think my guns, like the highest level my any of my guns are at is like 7 or 8, and I think it's the M4. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, I'm
love
just
this
excited.
game,
I'm
dude.
like, my favorite wild card from the beta was Gunfighter. I'm gonna permanently unlock that with my first prestige token.
I told you I'm an overkill guy. I only have 2 primaries.
Yeah, I'm not. So but the other thing I will say before we get into the ad read, praise the Call of Duty gods. No riot shield
Yeah,
has
dude.
been so nice, man. I never feel like I'm getting like, because it would be so frustrating in other Call of Duties when you would be on a kill streak and then some guy comes in and you literally can't shoot him
Freaking
because
turtle.
he's got a riot shield,
Yeah,
and then he freaking like throwing knives you or Molotovs you
Yeah.
or some bullshit.
dude, that's the thing. That was so Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 both had that issue where it was someone would have a riot shield and you would try and shoot him and you couldn't, and then they would just one shot you with a throwing knife. And it's like, how do you counter that? You can't do anything to
Can't.
counter that. So
Or it got to the point where it just became the meta. Everybody had a riot shield on their
yeah,
back.
and Cold War didn't have a riot shield, right?
I can't remember.
I don't think it
but
did.
I think if there was one thing that like Activision could take away from, like, if they asked me like, hey, what's one thing from this game that you want to carry over into all the other ones? No more riot shield. We don't need it. It literally, that what purpose does it serve besides to frustrate people?
Yeah.
It's literally like anybody who uses riot shields is just trolling, or they're playing the game differently. You know what I mean? It's not even about gunplay anymore. It's just about like, getting into annoying spots and then pissing people off or
Yeah.
distracting them,
Yeah.
or holding down an objective
And
or whatever.
people have proposed stuff for balancing riot shields. It's like, oh, what if it has durability? What if it actually lets some damage there? And it's like, dude, but then if it has durability, if you die,
You can't
then
even balance
you-
guns. You think they're gonna be able to do that?
yeah. But what I'm saying is, if you die with a riot shield and it has durability, your durability gets reset. So what's the point? You still have a riot shield. I think
It's still gonna be annoying. Yeah.
the riot shield is just not something that should be in the game. I'm glad it's not in this one. I hope they don't add
Keep
it
it out.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope not.
But, yeah.
I will honestly complain if they add it.
Yeah.
if
Bottom
that or
line,
not. I don't think they are though. That
They won't.
changes the game completely.
they won't. Bottom line, I freaking love the game, and we're definitely playing it like right after this. So
Yeah. So that's perfect segue. Support us with Patreon. I'm gonna go through all the people that joined this past week, which is really cool. But if you want a game with us, it is what, $3 a month? and we play every weekend, so we're gonna be playing Call of Duty pretty much every weekend.
Yeah.
I don't see myself playing anything else, and everybody in the Discord has been for the past couple of weeks going, yeah, Fortnite's cool, Dead by Daylight's fun and everything, but I just want to play Call of Duty, man. I just want it to be here already. It's here. We're gonna be playing after this for a couple hours, and then I gotta work on TikToks, and obviously we're going to that dinner. But then when I come back, I'm gonna do like a quick ab workout, and then back on Call of Duty, baby. Back again.
Yeah. God, I gotta play
so yeah.
zombies more, dude. Oh, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys wanna play Call of Duty with us, because we're gonna be partying up with people on the Patreon, join the Cool Ranch Corner Patreon for as little as $1. If you want to game with us, it's $3. But like I said, every weekend or at least 2 hours we play, and I'm telling you right now, I've already partied up with some people outside of the gaming session. So if you just want teammates for Call of Duty, and maybe you're somebody who doesn't have like a lot of friends who are into it, or they're like not on, there's always somebody on in the Discord, it seems like, playing Call of Duty. At least that's what I've seen the last 48 hours. So join the Patreon.
Yep.
G Fuel's doing a BOGO right now. Normally I say use G Fuel code DannyD for 10 to 30% off. Use G Fuel code DannyD if you want Nemesis tea, which they just restocked. I'm drinking it right now. Oh, it's Arnold Palmer, so it's lemonade, iced tea, and it's so good. It's been gone for a long time. TSA confiscated my last tub, so I was really happy to get a new one. And a fresh tub of G Fuel just hits different.
Why
man.
did they confiscate it? I still don't understand that.
They freaking swabbed it, and they said they couldn't confirm whether the residue, like it made all these alarms go off. Like it what they're looking for is evidence of like gunpowder or stuff to make bombs. And so they were like, we can't confirm whether like what the system's picking up. Like it literally says like unknown result, but it flagged it. So they were like, you can either give it to somebody who can like, take it home, or you got to throw it away right here. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like I was wearing a G Fuel shirt. I was like, this is literally my job. You get like, you know what I mean? I was like, this is an important thing. And, I mean, it was my mistake. If you're gonna travel with G Fuel, put it in your checked baggage. Don't put it on your carry-on. That was my mistake. Unless you have a sealed tub of G Fuel, do not take it. It seems like it's like a 50-50 chance they're gonna freaking make you throw it away. So that was really sad. But hey, fresh tub of Nemesis tea, I ain't complaining. It's in stock. So if you want Nemesis tea, use code DannyD for 20% off. There's some other new flavors that just dropped. I think Vampire Killers is on its way, which is that Castlevania flavor. So look forward to that review. But otherwise, there is a Fear Fest G Fuel BOGO going on until Halloween. Sometimes they extend for a day or two. We'll see if that happens or not. But I mean, they have a bunch of Halloween themed flavors. Candy corn's back. They reskinned. Yeah, they reskinned Bahama Mama. It's Spooky Mama right now. I like it. It's cool. They have all of the like slasher flavors right now, like Ghostface. They have Dream Demon, Good Guys, and Hack and Slash. Yeah, and those are all great, man. If you really like Fruit Punch, I recommend Hack and Slash. If you like a tart Fruit Punch, Dream Demon is the way to go. And then use code DannyD for 10% off Fit Butters.
Yes, sir.
We've been trying at least one flavor a week, and only 2 of them was I like, these are fine. All the other ones have been great, and I've been eating it pretty much every day. I put it on my protein bars, and it's like I'm eating a dessert, except I don't feel bad about it because I mean, we're talking like 30 grams of protein, so it makes for a really good, tasty, nutritious snack. It's high quality stuff, man. Highly recommend Banana Maple French Toast, Rory's Cookie Monster Madness, and Brookie. Brookie's really good. Did you try Brookie yet? Like I said, it's like a brownie batter, but there's like chunks of cookie dough in it.
I don't think I tried that one yet. No.
It's a good one. But if you're a member of the Patreon, we have a couple things here. So first off, we do giveaways. I try to do at least one giveaway a week. Last week we did our G Fuel Tub giveaways for the month. since we had so many new members join, I might be doing another G Fuel tub giveaway as like a special, like, hey, welcome to the Patreon kind of thing next week. So stay tuned for that. No word on what it's going to be. Maybe it'll be a collector's box. I think that'd be dope. Ooh, give away a collector's box. I haven't done that yet. But I have been giving away horror movie themed Blu-rays every week for spooky season. And this week's final spooky Blu-ray giveaway is The Black Phone, which is a great film where Ethan Hawke plays a serial killer. It's inspired by a Stephen King short story. Same director as Sinister. So if you like Sinister, which is one of the scariest films I've ever seen, you're going to like The Black Phone. And the winner of that is Louis Hebert, who just rejoined. We'll talk about that in a moment when I go through the list of new patrons. But congratulations. God damn it. Congratulations, Louis. You won The Black Phone, so I'll be reaching out in the next 24 hours to get that sent out on Monday. And I also did a surprise giveaway in the Discord for a G Fuel tub code. So you use this code to buy a tub of G Fuel, and the tub itself is free. You just pay shipping. And the winner of that is, I apologize because people have different names on Patreon and different names on Discord, so their names just don't always match up. But I believe one of our new members won the G Fuel tub code, and on Discord his name is @BabyMetal. So congratulations @BabyMetal. You will have a G Fuel code sent your way in the next 24 hours. I'm always curious to see what people get when they can just choose, you know. So let us know, BabyMetal, what tub you get. But a welcome shout out to our new patrons. If you got, it's a new thing that I just started where if you join or rejoin or upgrade your membership in the Cool Ranch Corner Patreon, you get a little shout out. So we got 6 people to shout out here, which is freaking awesome. Pablo Contreras joined at tier 2. Welcome, Pablo. Louis rejoined at tier 3 and won a freaking Blu-ray. So congratulations, Louis. That's what's up. Cisco upgraded to tier 3. Love you, Cisco. Cisco's a really funny guy. I've really enjoyed having you in the Discord, Cisco. You definitely crack us up, man. And he's also just like, we play Call of Duty and he's super chill. Mm-hmm. Nico joined at tier 3, so welcome, Nico. HRL, I'm not sure who that is in the Discord, but that's the name of the Patreon. Upgraded to tier 4. Hell yeah. Thank you for upgrading to tier 4. That means you get access to 2 G Fuel tub giveaways a month, both the US only and the international. And Nick Gouldy joined as a tier 5. My guy joined as a tier 5. That is huge. Thank you, Nick, for joining. We appreciate your support. Everybody who joined or rejoined or upgraded. And speaking of tier 5, this Monday, I will be sending out our first batch of G Fuel care packages for the tier 5 members and up. So if you join at tier 5, you get a thank you video, which if you want your thank you video and you haven't gotten it yet, or you joined at tier 5 and you want your thank you video, just shoot me a message on Discord and I'll send you a personalized video. It could, I've literally sent somebody like, they wanted me to like say happy birthday to somebody, almost like a cameo or whatever, you know, one of those videos. So you can use it like that. I do not care. It is yours to use however you want. You know, if you want me to say something specific, type it up and I'll do it. I'm cool with that. So that's one of the perks of being a tier 5. But one of the other perks you get is after on your 4th month. So when you've been a tier 5 member for at least 3 months, I will send you a G Fuel care package. So it's gonna have a bunch of packets in it. I just packed 4 of them for 4 people who have been tier 5 and up for at least 4 months. So those will be shipping out this next week. But I believe each one has somewhere around like 15 packets of G Fuel in it. So it's a good little thing of flavors. Like I think there's at least 5 or 6 flavors in each package. So I made sure to give some variety there. So look forward to that. It's also got some G Fuel stickers and a little thank you note. So look forward to that. And if you would like some guaranteed G Fuel, tier 5. Plus, you get access to all the other benefits like the G Fuel Tub giveaways, gaming with us, access to the Discord. And tier 1 gets you not only access to the Discord, but 24-hour early access to the podcast. So, um, hell yeah, guys. Thanks for joining. And it's cool to see our little community growing. On to our Patreon questions, which no matter what tier you are, you can ask a question if you would like to. Nikki asks, what or who got you into acting? It wasn't anyone specifically. It was just growing up loving movies and TV. I would say what got me into filmmaking in general was seeing E.T. when I was like 7. It just blew my mind. And Steven Spielberg will do that, man. I think if anybody's going to inspire somebody to be a filmmaker, it's somebody like Steven Spielberg, Christopher Nolan, you know, somebody who's just like a master at filmmaking. I saw E.T. and I remember like on the drive home just being like mind blown because I asked my parents, you know, like how do you make movies? How does this work? And they're like, yeah, there's a bunch of people that get together and it's like their job, like they do it for a living. It's just like any other job. And I'm like, well, how do I get that job? And next thing you know, I'm like watching movies over and over and then watching like the behind the scenes featurettes and stuff. And I'm just like, dude, I want to do this. I'm going to go to film school. And I never did that. I joined the military. You don't need to go to film school, by the way. I would say if you're right out of freaking high school and you got like free schooling for some reason, or your parents are paying for it, go to a film school that's got a good reputation. There's a lot of scammy ones out there, but I would recommend Chapman. That's where Ben went, and that seems to have been legit for him. I mean, that he's one of the most knowledgeable people that I know that's at like a similar. He's got more experience than me because he made so many freaking films while he was in college and stuff. But like, you know, he's not off making his own features and stuff for studios and stuff yet. I say yet because I know that guy will be doing. I think he's going to be doing like really cool indie art house films. So he seems like he's going to be working for like Neon or A24 someday. Love you, Ben. But yeah, no, it what got me into acting was the fact that I wanted to be a filmmaker. I was in love with filmmaking, and social media made me comfortable on camera. And I'm like, that's supposedly one of the hardest parts about it is being comfortable in front of the camera because there's a lot of pressure on you. You got to think, guys. People are like, oh, it's just, you know, memorizing lines and showing up to set. What my first experience acting and being paid on a legit set was me shirtless in a bed with with a woman that I had just met that were supposed to be in love with each other in this film, and there's people surrounding us talking about how the light is bouncing off my chest weird. How do we make we got a weird shadow on his chest, you know, something like that. Like, it's just, there was like a dozen people staring at me shirtless in a bed, and I mean, it's like a pillow talk scene. And I hope that film comes out soon, Ben. It still hasn't come out. But I mean, it's when you're in that moment, there's a lot of pressure on you, and it can feel awkward and silly. And that's just part of it. And I think being comfortable on social media made me adapt to that very quickly. And I think acting is something that anybody can do, but not everybody can do it well. You know what I mean? Like, you either have to take a lot of training, or I've met some people that it's about like hitting their mark and stuff. It's multitasking and stuff like that. Like, it just takes a while to get used to. But and I'm still, I would call myself, when it comes to acting, like very new, like intermediate level, maybe. You know, like I feel like I'm through the beginner phase where like you literally have no fucking clue what you're doing. You show up and you're just like confused and stressed out and all that stuff. I don't feel stressed out when I'm on set as an actor anymore. I would say the only thing that stresses me out is when I know a take was bad, because I'm like, oh, I hope they don't use that, because that is not going to match up right. I can already tell. My director brain is like, that was a bad take. But anyways, long story short, my love for film and social media got me into acting. Louis says, happy to have me back. Kidding. Well, we are happy to have you back, Louis. But he says, favorite hangout spot that is not home.
I actually was thinking about this earlier. So there's something like the vibes are great when it's just you and whoever you're hanging out with, like in a car, you're just driving around. Because
Huh, like cruising?
yeah, like it's just like because you know you might have a little bit of music in the background and you're just chatting and like you're you guys are seeing the place you're driving around. You know, me and my best friend Jacob when we would be driving around Yuma, it would always be like middle of the night and like maybe we go get Dutch Bros or something like that. And we're just talking, right? And it's like you get in some deep conversations and especially like if there's nobody on the road, right? You're not focused on like somebody, driving like an idiot, right? Because there's nobody to drive like an idiot. Like everyone's just gone, right? And so like that's it's a
To the
great.
car.
Wait, what?
Your favorite place to hang out that is not home is the car.
Yeah, but I don't know why it's like
I mean,
that.
I let dad drive the Mustang
Yeah,
when he was here, and like we were just driving around Albuquerque. Like we went to the movies, went to Cabela's, went and got like lunch. We got Rudy's barbecue. Oh, so good. Uh, but just driving around and like you know catching up and chatting and talking about the car and stuff like that, the tail lights. I'm kidding. Yeah, no, there's something about that. Like it's a vibe for sure.
yeah,
Um, and the Mustang is made for cruising.
yeah.
Just saying.
Unless it's traffic. If it's heavy traffic, then it just sucks
Yeah.
because it's just
But
stressful.
my favorite place to hang out that is not home is probably the movies. I love the movies, man.
That well,
Just going to the movies,
yeah,
hanging out with John Carl and Jorge before the movies, chatting about the movie afterwards. Like like the movie going experience as a whole is my favorite place. Other than a set, I would say like the hanging out on a set. I mean, luckily have not been on a set where everybody's like miserable because I hear
yeah,
about that. But I mean, most of the sets I've been on have in one way or another been my own set. I talked to Jeff Nichols, the director of uh, Bike Riders and all these other amazing films. And he was talking about how he's lucky to like not have had a bad experience, and he's like, that's because every set I've been on has been my own set. But and he's like, and every set keeps getting bigger. Like he was talking to me about how on the Bike Riders, they had all these extras, and he was just like blown away by the fact that all those people were there to like make his film,
yeah,
and when it's going well and people are having a good time and everybody's really confident about the quality of the film you're making, like it's I mean it's just like hanging out with a family of friends, that are all there to achieve the same thing and
yeah.
are having fun doing it, man. It's the crafty table on a set. That's where the best hangout vibes are at.
Well, I was gonna say, so you mentioned like going to the movies is a good hangout spot. It depends. If one if the people that are there are not obnoxious, like then it's good. If you have some knucklehead like behind you, it's like kicking your seat, and some dude in the front's like just being loud the whole time, like then it's like all right, what like you just ruined it, right?
I
Uh,
haven't had somebody kick my seat because we have like recline. Oh, dad! I took dad to Cinemark and he was like, "These seats recline."
yeah.
Damn.
Well, yeah. The other thing though is, um, it also depends on the movie because if it's a movie that makes people uncomfortable, you're just like,
You saw Terrifier 3, Dad and I.
whoa, oh, you guys,
Yeah.
oh,
We
well,
watched Terrifier 2 and I was like, "You want to go see the third one?" And he's like, "Well, I mean, if it's good enough to watch again, you already saw it, right?" And I was like, "It's good." And so we went, and funny enough, like for dad, it's a similar reason that I like those movies. It's that while this like debauchery is going on, people are getting murdered and just like butchered, right?
mm,
Freaking Art the Clown is just like, whoops,
yeah,
like he was just laughing the whole
dude,
time.
that's the thing. Like, I love when you have like characters in movies or shows or games that are just like goobers, like they're just goofy, right?
Yeah.
Like, man, but it has to be like tasteful. If it's just like Jar Jar Binks, it's like really, dude. But like when it's like it's just they're very unique. Like there's a dude at work, right, who wears a different colored shirt every day, and it's the same like schedule every week. So like Monday he wears blue, Tuesday he wears green, Wednesday he wears highlighter yellow. Like that, like it's just goofy, doesn't hurt anybody, and it's not like he's being obnoxious about it. It's just people notice they're like, you wear the same color every single day. Little things like that I love. As long as it's tasteful, it's cool. And like the little like miming thing that Art the Clown's doing, love that because it's not obnoxious. It's just funny.
Yeah. Yeah. When you get a chance, if you're not playing Call of Duty, you gotta watch the second one. And I'm curious to hear what you think. Because like I said, it's also the atmosphere and like 80s vibe of it that I personally love. Like it's one of those things that I know some people just don't care about. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't care about the music and like atmosphere and stuff. I do, and it's like I said, it's like Stranger Things from hell.
Yeah.
Super Dude 01 says, "What is your favorite COD campaign?" Mine's the OG Modern Warfare 2, hands down.
Oh, dude, that's I don't know. Modern Warfare 2019 is really good.
I thought you were gonna say Black Ops 2, but
Black Ops 2 is really good, but
very
also
innovative.
as we get closer and closer to 2025, it's like, man, we're not there yet. Like we're close, but we're not there yet. If they had picked 2030 as a setting, then it'd be it'd be really cool to see us get closer to that. But like, we're not at that point yet, and so it feels a little dated now. Whereas Modern Warfare 2019, like that game feels very grounded, and the campaign gets very real. Like especially what's the mission where you like clear a house? Is it literally called Clear House?
I think it's called Clean House.
Clean House, yeah. And like
I watched a YouTube video about how that was like the most innovative campaign mission in a decade or something.
They were talking about how like that specific mission, the scaling for the house
the
was
immersion and everything.
It's 1-to-1 because most of the time they make the buildings like bigger than they actually like would be in real life because it feels less congested. So when they want to make things feel very like unnerving, they make the scale 1-to-1 so that it feels cramped. Like something about the way that you perceive space in a video game, if it's like realistic, it feels off. It's weird.
This guy was talking about how if you turn around and go off mission, there's so much detail and everything.
Yeah.
Like that mission has more detail than any campaign mission in that game. Like you can tell that mission was important to them, and it was like they knew it was going to be the standout. They knew what they were doing, and I think it was them showing off their new engine too.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and the contrast between
people are talking about how good the campaign looks for Black Ops 6.
Oh
but
yeah,
I haven't
dude.
seen yet.
Dude, so the contrast between the campaign for Modern Warfare 2019 and the campaigns for Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, right?
God, Modern Warfare 3 sucked.
Dude, because even Modern Warfare 2 wasn't that great.
Yeah, like there was no mission like Clean House where I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
I
mean, it was Modern Warfare 2's campaign was pretty good, but it was also like it was tainted by Modern Warfare 3's campaign because it was like they had all this build up.
And then Modern Warfare 3's campaign is just a taint. Like it sucks.
Yes, dude. Like because they had this build up to like Makarov, and then Makarov shows up on Modern Warfare 3, and he's a loser. And
not only that, the way that one worked, it was like they were like, okay, this is like Modern Warfare 3, but not really Modern. It's more like 2.5. You know, like we can't do everything. But spoiler alert, they kill a major character, and I didn't feel for that character like I did in the original trilogy.
They killed two major characters actually.
Yes, but there was one specific death where I was like, we knew it was coming at some point, but when it happened, I was just like,
it didn't feel earned.
Oh no, yeah, not at all. I did not care about this character like I did in the original trilogy. And I'm sure they're gonna make a Modern Warfare 4.
I don't know, dude. They were saying they were having trouble, like, getting.
Well, if there's anything that they can learn from Black Ops 6 is that you need more than 2 years to make a good Call of Duty.
Yes.
So stop rushing that shit, man.
Anyways,
But yeah, Modern Warfare 2. What is it, 2009 or something like that? That's my favorite campaign. What's yours?
either 2019 or maybe Black Ops 2.
Yeah. Gabe Dudas says, "What's a horror movie that got you cursed on in 2022?" I have no idea what you mean, Gabe. I don't know why you're obsessed with 2022. We talked about 2022 horror movies from Netflix last episode. Look, there's no such thing as stupid questions, only stupid answers. I believe in that. But you could word your question a little better. I'm not sure what you mean. If you mean like what's a movie that I watched in 2022 that made me feel like I was cursed? I think Giancarlo and I watched that movie Incantation on Netflix. That felt like I was being cursed when I watched it. It was supposed to be like the scariest movie on Netflix. It wasn't, but it was very spooky. So maybe that answered your question, but I'm not sure what you mean. And bro, why are you obsessed with 2022 as a year? Like, tell us like next time put in parentheses like why you, what is it about 2022, or like what is your favorite horror movie or something. And for our last Patreon question, again, if you want to ask a question, just join the Patreon for as little as $1. Every week I do a post and you just ask the question in the comments. Tommy says, "What's a song you can listen to and get goosebumps?" What I've Done by Linkin Park every time.
I don't know, dude. Like the original like Destiny theme. Like when I hear that,
Oh.
I'm like, oh, because
Here they got a new Destiny game coming.
yeah, it's a mobile game.
Mobile.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's
Yeah,
not.
buddy.
I don't think it's made by Bungie, and so they've shown off some of the character design, and they have some like goth girl warlock or something like that, and I'm like at least these characters like have more personality to them. But I was
Yeah.
like, what is going on in that game, bro? It's a mobile game though, so
Yeah.
kind of impressive, but yeah,
Yeah. Every
yeah.
time I hear What I've Done by Linkin Park, it takes me back. That as soon as I hear that opening piano, I'm just like straight back to freaking Transformers
Yeah,
1 days.
dude, I actually random thing. I tried to rewatch the original Transformers, right? And I got about like a third of the way through, and then I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not finishing this. Like, it's just something was. I was like, I'm not interested in this. Like, I remember as a kid, like it was just I was like ready for the
I
action,
love
right?
it.
But like the first third of that movie where it's just like
I love when when freaking Soundwave or Blackout or whatever his name is, the helicopter shows up to the base.
Mhm.
Holy shit. I showed Theo that scene on YouTube and he was like, "Can we watch this?"
dude, but like the thing is, I remember Transformers more for like the humor and not for the action because like some of the jokes they made, like my favorite thing was like uh, Shia LaBeouf's character Sam is at some party and there's this bully with his little minion, right? And they say something to him and he's like, oh, what, you couldn't find a shirt that was any tighter? And they're like, oh no, like this is all they had, right? And he's like, oh, like something, I'm gonna shove my foot up your ass is what he says, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, what size shoe do you wear? And I'm like, what the
Dude, I like when that cop comes in as an interrogating him and Shia LaBeouf's like, "Are you on drugs?"
well, dude, like the
Huh? Mojo. He's like, "It's my chihuahua."
yeah, yeah,
Insane, man.
yeah.
Is that what the kids are calling it these
Well,
days?
I remember,
Mojo.
like Transformers 2 has that the
Oh.
scene like one guy tases the other guy and then he accidentally tases himself and they're just like
Yeah.
seizing on top of each other for a bit and I'm like, it's not how tasers work, but like
No, but
it's just goofy.
before we move on, because I want to go play Call of Duty, someday I will get the opportunity to make a movie with a badass like military scene, and I will 100% be inspired and paying homage to that Bring the Rain scene in freaking Transformers 1 where they're in the desert in that little village area and that Scorponok freaking robot shows up and he's like, "Break the rain!" And then you just like the freaking Air Force plane is like, doom, 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 doom,
Yeah.
doom, doom, doom. Yeah, it's so badass. One of my favorite scenes, and like, if I need to get hyped, I watch that shit because it's just like America. It's so sick, dude. That is probably like outside of like when the Transformers like first show up, or like the scene at the end where Optimus Prime is doing his little speech, like
Yeah.
we are here, we are waiting. Like, oh man, it gives me chills just thinking about it. Seeing that, when they do like an anniversary re-release, I gotta go see it again at theaters. Oh man, they got to do that like an IMAX or something. They're upgrading the IMAX seats here too, so hell yeah. But yeah, I will 100% someday pay homage to that. Like the way that felt and how like I don't know, Michael Bay, that's one of the things that he's like known for is like really like showing off the military or the police or whatever in a really like badass like gung ho way. So
Yeah.
that scene gives me goosebumps too. But on to our next little topic. We're gonna keep this short because it's more Black Ops 6 stuff. But they're doing a promotion with Little Caesars where if you spend at least $3, you get a code and you can get a calling card, an emblem. Apparently, I'm lucky because my first code got me the operator skin, and some people have been like putting in like 6 codes and they still haven't gotten that. So I've been running around as the little hot and ready dude, picking people's butts. He's got the little pizza slicer in a holster. But I really want the calling card because it says "Go crazy."
Well, you can get like what 21,000 COD points from it,
Yeah,
something like
that's
that?
the other thing. You can get a free copy of the game. You can get a copy of the battle pass. You can get anywhere from like 400 COD points to 21,000. Those are limited, but every time you get double XP. So like
Oh.
I got an operator skin, and like they call it dual double XP. So you get like weapon XP and normal rank XP.
Yeah.
So I got the operator skin and 30 minutes of dual double XP, and then my last 2 codes, I got an hour of dual double XP. So, and you can get up to 40 hours total. And I think they're doing this promotion. It says on the website they're doing the promotion until December 31st. So
Dang.
I see a lot of Little Caesars in my future. Is all I'm saying. I'm gonna be going at least 40 times.
Jesus,
Um,
bro.
I just gotta order a Crazy Puffs and it gets me a code.
Yeah, and
so.
Crazy Puffs are good, man. They're
Yeah,
so
they're like
good.
little pizza muffins.
Yeah, man.
But they're made out of the pizza dough, so it doesn't taste like a muffin. They look like muffins though. But
Thanks
yeah,
for, thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah, just clearing that up for you. You gonna be getting any Little Caesars? You think?
Probably soon. Yeah, I do definitely want to see if I can get me some COD points. But also like I haven't had the Crazy Puffs in a while. The last time I had Little Caesars, I got like it was at work, and it was before I was moving to a new area, and so we got couple pizzas and some crazy bread, and so yeah, it's been a while since I had the Crazy Puffs.
I really have been trying to get the calling card and the emblem because I have the operator skin. I think there's a gun blueprint too.
That doesn't sound surprising.
But yeah, they went all out this year.
Yeah.
For Little Caesars. It's their biggest promotion with Call of Duty ever for sure. But yeah, lots of Little Caesars content. I'm working on one today too. I did one last night where it was like I snuck out. So we'll see. On to the next topic. I went and voted for the first time, and Trump was on Joe Rogan last night, so we're just gonna touch on that a little bit. I made a video yesterday, and it was crazy because like the Little Caesars one didn't do super great on TikTok. Some videos will not do good on TikTok, but then they'll do really good on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I made a video about how I went and voted, and you should go vote. And it's nobody's business who you vote for. It's just it matters that you vote. And I'm keeping politics out of my content. I don't really have anything else to say, and people seem to really respect that. But I went and voted, and it was super easy. I definitely recommend voting early. I don't think I'll ever try to vote on election day. I hear that's a total shit show because so many people are trying to vote at once, and the lines get crazy. But go vote. It doesn't matter who you vote for. It's just the fact that we have the right to vote, and you should exercise that right to vote. And I'm surprised how many people I talk to, and they're just like, I've never voted. And I'm like, bro, you're like 40. Why aren't you doing it? Like, you people, it seems like the people who go, oh, like your vote doesn't really matter. They're the people who've never voted. It's like, how do you know, bro? You never even been to a polling station, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think 100% you and feel the way that you want to, Chris, but if you don't vote, I don't think you should be complaining about who gets elected because you didn't even vote.
I voted
You know what I mean?
in 2020, and
Yeah.
the thing that was just annoying about it is it was like they asked you like a bunch of stuff like who do you want voted into this position and that one, blah blah blah, right? And I'm like, dude, the one that I care about is the president.
One of the things that was on the ballot, New Mexico is looking at getting rid of property tax for
I
veterans,
did
like
see
Texas
that,
does.
dude. Okay, you want a random thing? Okay, I saw you know how you can like write somebody in for who you want to vote for.
Yeah,
Somebody put Free
I put Kanye.
Palestine.
No, I'm just kidding.
So somebody put Free Palestine on there, and I was like, bro. I was like, I get like, if that's the message you want to put out, by all means, go for it. Like, you're free to do that. But like that doesn't do anything when you do it that
No,
way.
that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, like vote for the
But
person who would do that. Don't just write
yeah,
it in. Like your vote is now gone. So
whatever. But I don't want to get into the weeds on that kind of stuff. But anyways, Trump went on Joe Rogan last night, and I up until I woke up this morning, it seemed like he was getting about 1 million views an hour.
yeah, so he's currently at 13 million views.
Jeez,
with,
man.
Which
And
is
it came out
crazy.
14 hours ago.
What's crazy is I had checked it at the beginning of the podcast.
Over a
And
million likes.
It was at 12 million when we started.
Yeah, 275,000 comments, dude. And the number one comment is podcasts are officially more important than traditional media now,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
And it says this will be the most viewed podcast in the entire Joe Rogan collection within a week.
Dude, that is so crazy that the description says Donald Trump is currently the 2024 presidential candidate of the Republican Party. He previously served as America's 45th president. Like,
And is also a businessman and media personality.
dude, that is crazy, man.
I've already listened to the whole thing, and my only complaint is that at the end of the day, Trump is an old man, and old men sometimes ramble a little longer than they should.
Yeah.
But it's not. I mean, they talked about like Biden and like the debates and stuff like that, and it made me think about, you know, like what would it have been like if Biden had gone on Joe Rogan. And dude, I don't know if Biden would have lasted an hour with like how lost he gets and stuff. And they talked about whether Kamala will go on. Is it Kamala or Kamala? I can't. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Kamala?
Kamala?
Kamala.
I don't know.
I think it's Kamala. Like
It's not Kamala, right?
Yeah, because everyone says
Yeah.
Kamala, and I think
Yeah.
it's Kamala, which
But
doesn't roll off the tongue the same way. But
Joe Rogan said that the invitation is still there. Like he would like to talk to her. So that would be interesting to see. But I think I think they got along really well on the podcast, and they seem to both respect each other. And the last thing that I remember seeing or hearing before it like ended and the music started playing at the end for the outro was Joe Rogan telling him good luck. He was like, "Good luck to you, sir." So it was interesting, like to hear them talk just like normal people, and Joe Rogan was really asking him like, you know, like tell the people what it's like to be like just thrown into the White House, and like what was that experience like. And it was interesting for 3 hours. Like I don't like what I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't know if I would make it through a 3 hour podcast episode with Joe Biden on. I think at some point I would just be like, oh brother, like
it's like the
you know what I
Kanye
mean?
episode where you're just listening to it and you're like, oh no.
or the Terrence Howard episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like, oh brother, this guy lost his marbles, you know. And it's like it's like listening to a homeless person like rant on
Yeah.
the street, you know. And I
do want to say,
but yeah, go
Joe,
listen to it. It's really interesting.
Joe did a really good job of reining Trump in, when
Keeping
he
him
would-
on the track.
yeah,
Yeah.
when he would go off on little tangents and stuff like that, and also just like I don't know. It really shows like how good of an interviewer Joe Rogan is,
Yeah,
because he had actually like genuinely interesting questions to ask, and then he
he
would
shaved
go
the
into
scar on his ear.
yeah he would go into like just normal conversation as well. It wasn't just like this is an interview. It's like we're talking, but also I do need to make sure that we keep things on topic.
They talked about UFC and boxing, and it genuinely educated me on some stuff. Like I didn't know that. Like, did you know that nobody's ever died in the UFC, and that's something that they're like really proud of? Is that like in boxing, people die because they they weight cut and they go into fights dehydrated, and then their brain gets rattled so much that they die. That's why they went from 15 rounds to 12. They like changed the
Oh,
rule. 15 rounds was too much apparently. People are dying too much. So like hearing Trump talk about fighting and stuff like that and seeing that he actually had some knowledge about it and like knew who the fighters were and stuff was really impressive to
well,
me.
because he watches a lot. He used to do wrestling as well, right?
He
Like,
respects it. Yeah,
yeah.
he honestly like, and that was really cool to see. And then Joe Rogan talked to him about golf, and you could tell Joe Rogan was being respectful about it. It wasn't a joke. Um, it was just a very interesting 3 hour conversation. And like I said, I feel like the first half hour, you could tell there was still a little bit of like, this is crazy that we're doing this and it's kind of awkward and like where do we even begin kind of vibe. But then after the first half hour they got into a groove and the rest of it flew by for me. I would love to see the other candidate, however you say her name, Kamala. I'm
Kamala.
sorry, I
Kamala.
genuinely don't know what the correct way of saying it is. I apologize. I would genuinely like want to see her go on and the same thing. I think that's fair. So we'll see if that happens. I don't know. I mean, we are less than 2 weeks away from the election, man. That's crazy to say that. Like this year has flown by, man. I mean, Halloween is literally in like what, 5 days, 4 days?
Yeah.
Crazy. Um, but yeah, I highly recommend checking that out. Because this guy might be our president again, and he talks about like what his plan is and stuff, and I think it's good to be somewhat informed. I think there's a lot of negative stuff when it comes to politics and a lot of fear mongering and a lot of things out there that don't have a positive impact on people. Like it's genuinely just like clickbait and like meant to get clicks. But this was just a normal conversation, and I genuinely learned things about both people, which is crazy to say. Because I've been watching Joe Rogan for a long time. And I'm curious to see how many views it gets. I think it gets to 20 million in like the next 8 hours, dude. Crazy. Um, Last big topic. I went and saw Smile 2, and I thought it was pretty scary and anxiety inducing. If you like the first one, I think you'll dig this. I think I like the first one a little better in terms of story and execution, but this was way like the editing was really impressive. The transitions were impressive. Um, it definitely was immersive as a film. Um, and I don't think it's doing crazy well at the box office. I think its performance is very similar. So especially based off the ending without spoilers, I don't see them doing a third one. But Naomi Scott, I think she's gonna get some really good roles after that because she freaking killed it in this lead part. Um, she's a pop star, Chris. So at times I almost felt like I was like, wow, we got like two movies about pop stars that are in like the horror thriller kind of
Hmm.
genre with like trap and this. So it was interesting to think and compare the two. Which you still got to watch Trap. I really want to hear what you think about that because it's a silly, funny movie, but also like cool. And then Bobby and I have been watching the Bad Boys movies, and I've enjoyed them a lot more than I thought. I think the first one is very dated, but you can kind of see how Michael Bay like got started, which is
Wait,
interesting.
Michael Bay made that?
Yeah, he made the first two.
Holy crap!
Um, the second one reminds me of Transformers in terms of like they show off the Coast Guard a lot, which is really cool. Um, Coast Guard's all over that movie, which is awesome. Um, they're really funny. If you need a good comedy, the banter between those two is hilarious, man.
Hmm.
We're like I think we have an hour left of Bad Boys 3, and I think I like Bad Boys 2 the most so far. Um, but Bad Boys 3 has been great. It's funny. It's just a little too ridiculous in my opinion. But like Will Smith is in a coma for a couple of months, and then like they cut to him like recovering, and he's like running on a treadmill and shit. I'm like, no. If you were in a coma for a couple months, bro, like you're in rehab for probably a year, trying to like get your motor skills back to where they were. And bro's just like running on a treadmill, and like this this love interest of his that's also a cop like is like, really, you're gonna go after this guy? You're not even healed yet, are you? And she like touches him, and he's like, "Oh, damn!" And I'm like, yeah, you were just running on the treadmill like full speed, bro. Are you kidding me? You
Yeah.
hurt that much? Like, just ridiculous. But I really like the banter between Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. It's great, and I'm looking forward to watching the fourth one because I hear it's better than the third one. Um, but yeah, that's our last like big topic. I'm ready to play some Call of Duty, so we're gonna get into our movie, TV, YouTube video, YouTube channel, app, or game recommendation of the week. I'm just gonna say recommendation of the week from now on. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I got two. Okay, and you're gonna be like, really? Go
for it.
watch that Trump Joe Rogan episode because it was very
Yes.
good. And then play you some
Interesting.
Black Ops 6, bro. Play some Black Ops 6. Like I said, Game Pass or
Signal to Activision that this is what we want more of, not
Yes.
fucking Modern Warfare
Yes.
2.5
yes. And
or Vanguard.
dude, the only thing that I think could possibly make this game better, ready for this? If they give it a 2-year lifespan. Because
I would be impressed if they
I-
surprise.
I
dude, got all this
genuinely,
content.
genuinely, that's my biggest complaint with Call of Duty is that because they come out with a new game every year, people always just abandon the previous game.
Yeah.
And so you put all this work into the game for a year, and then it's like, all right, bye. Because what's the point of buying like bundles? What's the point of buying any cosmetics for this game if
If
No
they
one's
do an
playing
Art
it.
Cloud bundle for this one, I'm getting it. That's the only one I'll buy. I'm gonna try not to buy any other skins.
I wouldn't be surprised if they already have them for Modern Warfare 3.
They do, but like, why am I gonna buy that if I can't use it?
You won't be able to use it in
Yeah,
Black
I
Ops
didn't
6,
buy
yeah.
it, and I was like disappointed because it looked really cool. But, yeah, Black Ops 6 is easily one of the most well-rounded Call of Duties in recent memory. Definitely support that if you like Call of Duty. Like, and if you haven't played Call of Duty in a long time because you're like, yeah, it's just the same every year, they genuinely made some innovation in this one, and it is, like I said, just a well-rounded experience. I'm genuinely looking forward to playing the campaign now. My recommendations, we've talked about it so many times on this podcast, but it's because it's that fucking good. I want to make a horror movie inspired by this film someday because of the atmosphere and the score and how like just doom doom, you know. The Thing, which I have a poster of right behind me, from 1982. Almost Halloween within 5 days. If you've never seen John Carpenter's The Thing, it is the perfect time to watch it. It's a great spooky season movie. Easily my favorite horror movie of all time. Also, it's sci-fi horror, which is my favorite subgenre of horror.
Yeah. Well, one thing I want to say about The Thing is the setting is like honestly, that is a hard thing to make interesting, and they like just very good pick for that. Like just a
Dude,
cool
it's just-
concept.
I think John Carpenter to this day says it's his best film, and he says it's because he had 9 months to prep it.
Oh,
He had
wow.
he had more time to do pre-production than any other film. The practical effects, 10 out of 10. Score, 10 out of 10. Atmosphere, 10 out of 10. Acting, 10 out of 10. The characters, 10 out of 10. You don't even like. It has this perfect way of introducing all the characters in the first act, where it's like touch and go. You learn what you need to, and you already know like every character kind of represents a different
Yeah.
stereotype almost.
Well, because what's the scene? He's like, "Hey, can you turn that down? I just got shot today."
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, oh, this guy's milking it. Yeah. Yeah, but it's also like it's about like the paranoia of like who's the thing, you know? Because it's about an alien that can imitate basically whatever life form it wants. So like you'd never know what it is and who is the monster. And when the monster's revealed, every single time it's mind blowing. So yeah, my recommendation for Halloween is John Carpenter's The Thing. Like if you're looking for a movie to watch on Halloween, that's a good one. Classic. Um, and then go watch Pollo Loco if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, why not? Go see why it won 42 awards and 15 nominations. Go see why it's on track to hit 50K in the first month. And if you have seen it already, go watch it again. I guarantee you'll pick up things that you haven't seen. Speaking of The Thing, I thought about doing a TikTok about this, Chris. There is a little moment when it's after Giancarlo's character says, do it, make him suffer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then my character walks off to go do the business, right? Do the deed. He right as he like it cuts to the garage, and there's this little ambient like synth tone. I remember working on the score with the composer Austin Geller, who's a very talented guy, by the way. Love you, Austin. We both love John Carpenter's The Thing, and I was like, dude, there's that little moment, and the score reminds me of The Thing so much. Can we lean into that? And he goes, we absolutely can. And so there's that little moment where you get a little, like, it's almost straight out of The Thing, where it's like this synth ambient tone, and it just like kind of fizzles out, and then shit gets real. I will show you after this, Chris, exactly what I'm talking about. But it was, that moment was straight up like, oh, dude, John Carpenter's The Thing vibes. Let's crank that up, just because I like that, and it's a nice little touch that I like. You know what I mean? Like, and if I like it, I know somebody else will. That's my approach to filmmaking. Is like, I make something that I know I'm gonna enjoy, and in turn, people will see that personal touch and like it themselves. Not everybody likes everything I do, obviously. Not everybody ever will, but that's one of those things I'm really proud of. I'm like, it's a little taste of what I'm gonna really commit to someday. I think I don't know what film it's gonna be, but maybe my first horror film. I'll really lean into it. But I love that atmosphere, and yeah, the atmosphere of that film at times is definitely inspired by The Thing. So go check out Pollo Loco. Check out The Thing. Go play Black Ops 6 and listen to Joe Rogan talk to Trump. It's crazy, man. What a time to be alive, man. Holy shit. And it's almost 2025, which is crazy. Yeah. But we're gonna go play Call of Duty with the patrons. So we'll see you next week, and get some G Fuel for the BOGO. Get some Fit Butters. Join the Patreon so you can hang out with us, and we'll see you next week.
Comment if you care about taillights.
You son of a bitch.